NASA is attempting to reach the moon again. This time, it is relying on Elon Musk's brilliance. The space agency will mainly rely on SpaceX for the infrastructure that would allow the astronauts to land on the moon. So how is SpaceX preparing for this lunar mission? Welcome to our channel, guys. In today's video, we'll discuss more on SpaceX and NASA's major moon mission. But before that, do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. The first phase of NASA's three-part plan to visit the moon again has begun. NASA will establish its presence in lunar orbit throughout the course of the following year. This involves research and reconnaissance flights that will prepare the way for humans to re-enter the lunar surface. The initial, smallest, and most crucial stage is known as Capstone. The Lunar Pathfinder, the maiden launch attempt of the SIS and Orient spacecraft, and the newly launched CubeSat make up a trinity of missions scheduled for this year and early in 2023. It is simple to understand why these setup launches are a top priority for NASA and their partners. Capstone is a 6-month expedition that is also known as the SIS Lunar Autonomous Positioning System Technology Operations and Navigation Experiment. According to reports, it will help the Artemis mission by providing navigational support and laying out a precise orbit around the moon, so that prospective spacecraft like the Gateway Station can more easily reach safe orbits in the future. The tiny CubeSat, which weighs just 55 pounds, was launched on a Rocket Lab Electron rocket and has solar panels, a camera, and a number of antennae for communication and navigation. It was created for NASA by Advanced Space for $13.7 million, making it the first commercial spacecraft to go in a 3-body orbit around the Earth-Moon. A leak from the core stage was identified during the most recent wet dress rehearsal on June 20th. This is one of many problems NASA's SLS rockets has encountered during testing. Despite this finding, NASA officials continue to push for a launch as soon as August of this year because they feel the SIS is ready for flight. Additionally, Artemis 1 will launch an unmanned Orient capsule to the moon and back if the leak can be rectified. If this test flight is successful, NASA will launch Artemis 2 in 2024 to carry a makeshift capsule on a second attempt to reach lunar orbit, and ultimately, in 2025, the plan is to take people to the moon's surface on Artemis 3. Another CubeSat, Pioneer, is designed to provide advanced reconnaissance for the Artemis landers. It has a spectrometer and a thermal mapper to try and map the distribution of water ice on the moon, a crucial signal of where to set up future lunar activities and land our astronauts. By 2023, the satellite will be prepared for launch. The rideshare for the IMAP missions have to be postponed until 2025 to allow for the completion of the main equipment. Trailblazer was chosen by NASA because of their short timetable. According to reports, the Intuitive Machines IM-2 mission will now include a secondary payload that is another ride Pioneer. This will transport the second autonomous lander to the areas near the moon's south pole for drilling and research. This is said to take off in early 2023. Let's now discuss the rate at which these launches occur, the challenges NASA is facing, and the timeline. There is a ton of work to be done before humans return to the moon's surface, and it is obvious that NASA is not in the mood to postpone the trip. The crew has been working extremely hard to arrange all of these dominoes, according to information provided by NASA Communications. It appears like everyone is taking their first steady breaths before the race, since everyone in the business is collaborating to bring Artemis to life. In terms of the race to the moon, SpaceX has already begun operations after receiving approval from the FAA to test its Super Heavy launcher and STARSHIP vehicles at Starbase in Texas. There has been a lot of work building up to these tests since the enormous rocket will play a key part in NASA's Artemis 3 mission when the spaceship lunar lander returns humans to the moon's surface. Meanwhile, the Megazilla Tower is being constructed on the Florida coast as infrastructure work is being done, but attention is focused on the activities surrounding Starbase's Booster 7. Super Heavy Booster 7 was moved to the launch site on June 23rd. With all 33 Raptor 2 engines fitted, it was impressive to witness this massive 70-meter tall rocket making the hour-long journey to the launch platform at the Starbase. But after a few hours of calibrating, the best was yet to come. The Megazilla Tower of the Starbase raised and turned Rocket 7 onto the orbital launch platform using robotic chopstick arms. This is the first time that SpaceX has lifted a huge object without the use of a massive crane, using the tower arms. While it is thrilling to watch the chopstick arms functioning as anticipated, it is even more thrilling to consider the chance that they may succeed in snagging the rocket during landing tests that might take place later this summer. The lift test significantly increases the excitement of the Florida action compared to the Cape Tower. Due to the lessons learned from the Starbase Tower, the Florida Megazilla is being assembled in its entirety in sections before being delivered to its ultimate location. This speeds up building on site and makes the complex electrical and plumbing work safer and easy to do. Once the components are assembled, all that has to be done by the engineers is to tighten the connections and the tower will be ready for use in the future. The Starship will be prepared to become a genuine workhorse of the aerospace industry once a second launch tower is built at the center of America's space program. Additionally, this is probably where the lunar spaceship HIS lander will take off towards the moon. And we're all eager for that next job. The static firing of the Raptor 2 engines on Booster 7 will be the next significant test after wet dress rehearsals. Given that these engineers have never been fired on this scale previously, we know that from the FAA judgment that SpaceX is permitted 135 seconds of extremely heavy static fire testing. It's conceivable that the crew will choose to fire a single engine first, then perhaps a whole ring, and if everything continues to go according to plan, we might even get to witness the entire 33 engine burn all of this thrilling material. All of SpaceX's projects are either coming together rapidly or finishing up right, so it appears that the year's worth of effort with the FAA is now paying off. Please support the hard work of the Starbase staff as they complete their busy schedule of the remainder of the summer. It appears that the British government sees a chance to take the lead in terms of sustainability in space. The United Kingdom said on June 23 that it will be implementing a number of legislative and financial steps to address the rising debris issue in low Earth orbit. The objective is to establish a worldwide commercial framework for the insurability, according to George Freeman, Minister of Science, Research and Innovation. To dodge debris from a wrecked satellite, the ISS had to perform an emergency maneuver. Commercial solutions to this are being tested by organizations like NanoRacks and Atroscale. Who knows what creative new ideas would be produced if they could obtain some support. Therefore, the UK's strategy consists of 4 parts. First, they want to create a legal framework for all orbital operations. The second section immediately follows the first. The United Kingdom intends to cooperate with international institutions, including the United Nations and the G7 countries, to promote wider adoption of the sustainability framework. The third step is creating a set of straightforward measures that are accurate for gauging the sustainability of any space activity. It goes without saying that regulations are useless if there is no means to assess a company's compliance with the new laws or if those procedures are unduly complex. As an extra benefit, if a corporation complies with the new regulations, insurance costs for orbital license might decrease, as Freeman explains. The present strategy calls for around $6.1 million to be allocated in order to build an operational debris removal program. This program's component is the latest in a series that was initiated by contracts given to a team led by Astroscale last year, who aim at a clean and sustainable orbit. Do you think NASA and SpaceX partnership will have a lasting impression on space exploration? Let us know in the comment section below. And while you do that, do not forget to give us a like, share, and do subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thanks for watching.